No, this is going to be out of nowhere, and I apologise if you hear anything in the background. But this is an article I just found that just came out today, April 26th. I'm doing this as well on the 27th because of time zone differences, and I just had to do something on it because CBR really likes to sometimes make some big old opinion pieces, and I apologise if you hear any noise outside. All the other students are out there playing volleyball for some damn reason. Someone keeps shouting like banshees, so I apologise if you can hear that in the background. So, let's go over why this article is near enough complete trash. And I'm not on about the person himself, because I'm on about the article itself. We're not after the person, so I want to make that clear. Do not threaten or do anything like that one. I just want to make that clear right at the very start. I am very annoyed at reading this, but I'll go over some points that I believe, yeah, they're questionable, and some points that are utter, like, opinion pieces from the author themselves. And remember, I'm not attacking the author, I'm criticising the article. Alright, so guys, if you're ready, I sure as hell, well, am to dissect this horrible article myself. So guys, Ikibashuka. With the title, as you can clearly see, 10 times anime normalized extremely questionable acts, which, so this is going to go on the cliches. That is what I thought by looking at it, where they are questionable in the West, more or less than any other place. But let's get on to the bit. Anime is loved by millions, but it also has its problematic moments and features. That's true. It's the same with TV shows and other things like that. It's no different from anything else. So, fans who've been watching anime for a while know that anime is an extremely problematic medium. Right from, keeping it in the family and some other questionable things that I can't say out loud, to abuse. Like, TV doesn't already have that anyway, but TV already has those themes. Come on! You have the easiest thing right about with that Game of Thrones, but anyway. But this is on about anime, so let's get out of that. I just want to make that clear. TV shows also have these themes. There isn't much that Japan hasn't kawaii-fied, whatever that's supposed to mean, and presented to their non-Japanese audience as something that's totally normal. Well, no, we all know that Japanese anime isn't normal, and it's from another country, so of course it's going to be different. But anyway, let's go on. A lot of people use it as, oh, it's not real, so it's okay logic to excuse a lot of questionable actions. But let's face it, as a whole, the entire community has become numb instead of being repulsed and horrified as to what should rightly repulse them. No, the reason why we say it's not real is we treat it like it's fantasy. Well, you don't treat The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings as if it actually happened, do you? And also, it's the same with Harry Potter. There was child abuse in that, and also It, where it has a freaking orgy with young kids. Nobody really talks about that. I mentioned that in the previous video that I'd done, but anyway, that argument still stands for this as well. So I'm going to use that again. Although I should probably come up with other arguments at one point as well, in case somebody, of course, criticises me, which you're more than welcome to. And no, we haven't become numb to these. And the reason why is, let's go with the first one they said, which is sexualization of female children. Now, they don't specify how old, of course, but the example that they use is No Game, No Life. And of course, Shiro is underage, and also there is the theme with the keeping it in the family with her older brother. But as far as I know with the story, none of that actually happens with them, and it's a gag and it's between them because they become so close they only barely know each other. Because yeah, she says she's no more than 12. So the best example is the anime No Game No Life. It centers around a story. The best example? You must be new around here. the best example. Okay. What? Sorry. I know worse ones like Kodomo no Jikan. That one's way worse. Like, that is beyond creepy, that one. It centers around a story of two siblings, a teenage boy and a prepubescent girl. You forget to mention that they're siblings, I guess. Who couldn't be more than 12? Ignoring the problematic... Well, there we go. They're keeping it in the family undertones in their relationship. What was more repugnant was how the audience was forced to go through penny shots of a minor for no reason than titillation for sickos. First off, did you read the tag with ecchi on No Game No Life? The thing is, when you see that tag, it can mean like anything that is related to mildly inappropriate stuff. So you went into it knowing that it was going to have that tag anyway. But the comedy in No Game No Life is spot on. Do I advocate for it in real life? No, I don't. Of course I don't in real life. If it's fantasy, I'm like, I don't care. I'm here to experience a story or comedy. But I understand what they're saying with the worry for that. I get it. But it's the same thing as like saying video games cause violence. It's the exact same argument. But there's no proof that it actually does that in real life. But anyway, let's have a look. So the rampant... Okay, so it's basically the same point as the top one. I like how they also don't include the ones for young boys, like with Boku no Pico, the most blessed anime of all time. Oh dear. But let's go on with this one saying, not only is anime flooded with questionable relationships, it has them presented in such a manner to make audiences root for them. Which ones have you been watching, madam, or sir, or whatever? A perfect example would be an anime like Kodomo no Jikan. No, we all hated that. The comedy was passable at best, but the actual anime, I put it as one of the most messed up anime I watched, like morally messed up. Which revolves around romantic love and lust that a third grader Aoki Daisuke, yes, she is that is correct, has for her 23-year-old virginal Daisuke sensei. And he's not the one going after her, it's the child. Just to let you know. And we all know that's not normal. When this isn't presented with rose-tinted glasses, Japan uses the, oh look, she's 12, but she's actually 2,000-year-old, made cursed her forever look like a child. It's because it's fantasy, and it doesn't mean that we think it's okay. We don't think it's okay. Of course, we don't think reality's the same. No, if somebody does, then they need help. Seriously. Tried to claim that technically this wouldn't be that. Yeah, that's another questionable argument as well. It's the same with like Shinobu and also the demigod in Gate. I get the argument myself. Like, yeah, you can say it's a cop-out, that's fair, but at the same time, it's a story, it's not real, it's paper. What, are you going to give yourself paper cuts? Or Japan presents high school girls, aka teenagers who are shipped with supernatural creatures that are at least a century old. So you're saying, okay, I can see what you mean. Like with the girls and that one, and then there's the one with the guys when they're like over 900 and they're going for younger guys. Yeah, I get it. Okay, you're looking at both on that one. I respect that. At least this one acknowledges that it's not just girls, it's also the guys who also experience that. Like Kanokon. Kanokon was a very easy example I can think of to go with, like, the older girl going for a younger guy, and also Boku no Pico, yikes. Like, Inuyasha. Oh, you're attacking Inuyasha. You're going to offend a lot of people with that one, just saying. Or Noragami. Yeah, you're going to attack a lot more people with that. It should be noted how young girls are almost always the victims of these acts. Yikes. Now, if only you actually use that knowledge to save actual victims, right? Yeah, like, you can virtue signal all you want, but you're not saving anyone with this logic. Like, you can say and preach about how bad it is, but it's not like you'll actually enact it, will you? Like yourself, you won't actually go out and catch people who do it. Anyway, more examples include The Garden of Words. A great movie. A very great movie, which was a 27-year-old lady and a 15-year-old child. Yes, that was true. It was questionable, but you have to remember in Japan, the age of consent is 13 years old. Different from America and the UK and Australia. So you can understand why that logic doesn't completely apply. And plus, Japan has banned that type of child content as well as other things, except for anime and, off-brand stuff, for the reason being that they don't consider them real and therefore they have no human rights because they are not living things. And many other countries have looked at the United Nations and think, what the hell are you looking at? It's just paper. This is no different from people acting, even. Well, it is if they're actually physically there, but you get what I mean. It's not actual people are getting hurt from the making of it, and to be honest, if it's bad, people will go away from it. That's how it all works. And though technically not that word, which I won't say, they were skating on thin ice after the rain. Yeah, that one was a bit weird. 45-year-old man with 17-year-old girl. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but remember, in Japan, they're technically legal. But hey ho, hey ho. And infantilization of women. How the hell do you mean this? And you use one of my favorite animes of all time, Hyouka. Don't you dare ruin this. One of the most intolerable, okay, aspects of Japanese is how sexist their dubbings are. Hold on a minute. What do you mean? If you're going on about sexism, right. Here's one for you. There are more female seiyuu actors than women. Than men. So men are the minority in the anime production bit. And also, some of the guys are replaced by female voice actors. They don't have equal representation in there, they just do the job they're given. Same with the animators and everything like that. And most of the people that are in production of anime and the representative of anime are women. Your argument is obsolete. So there we go. And also, have you met a Japanese person in real life? Like, have you gone to Japan and spoken with people in Japan? I'm living in Japan. I've lived here for half a year. I have met people, like girls, who actually speak like this, and they're older than me. Yeah, I'm serious. 30-year-old women sound like they're 15. Yeah, some of them do. Even in Japan they do. I've met my teachers, for God's sake. 15-year-old girls sound like they're 9. Yes, because I don't bloody know why. Men, on the other hand, are the opposite. Hold on a minute. Have you not watched Future Diary? The original voices, right, of the main character. The main character. He sounds like a kid. And sounds older than him, in my opinion. So it's not just girls, it's guys as well. And also, I don't think you've ever met an actual Japanese person or spoken with a Japanese person. Otherwise, you would understand why they would sound like this. And plus, these are women and men who are older than the character's age who are acting. They are acting. It's not real. Just like Game of Thrones. And 30-year-old men sound like 50-year-old truck drivers. There are some that do sound like that as well. I'll admit that. That is kind of true, that last bit. Women are made to appear and sound younger while it's the opposite for men. No, don't you dare say that. And also, they voice audition for it and it's decided, and that's just it. Just, what are you going on with? Okay, so normalization of abusive relationships. Okay. Let's have a look at this one, because this one I actually found kind of interesting. So, the child thing aside, anime is full of verbally and sometimes physically abusive relationships that are normalized as romantic. This one I kind of do understand. Like if I think about it, yeah, like, good example, Wolf Girl and Black Prince. I didn't like the anime myself because I felt like the prince was a right rear end, so I understand why they've used that as an example. I wasn't a big fan of it. This trope has been used to death in the shoujo genre. And yes, there are women who are making those as well, so it's not just guys. So the people who are writing this that are women who write these stories, you're basically saying that they're creating abusive relationships that then lead into a love relationship. Yeah. I can see that. I can see why you'd be a bit annoyed at that. But at the same time, it's fiction, not real. It's not real. So is Love Actually. That's not real. Love Island. Ugh, who the hell cares about Love Island, for God's sake? Are you telling me that Love Island is realistic and promotes actual relationships? Get bent. Where these brainless, bumbling messes who are... Oh, wait, sorry. Where, again, the girls are brainless, bumbling messes who are pushed around by dudes who are controlling, possessive, and extremely jealous in nature. Oh, so you're going to leave out animes like Tonari no Kajitsu-kun. Or is it Kaibutsu-kun? So the monster, the wolf next to me, I think it is. That anime, right? I kid you not, the guy was abused left and right by the girl. And he did like her as well. But he did do some questionable scenes, that is true. They were both fairly violent with each other. Toradora, where Tiger always beat Yuji up. Was that his name, Yuji? I can't remember. And also, let's think about this. Fujiwara in Clannad, where she throws a literal book all the time at Tomoya when he does absolutely nothing wrong. So, what are you going on with here? I mean, I understand, like, using the Wolf Girl and Black Prince, but people have to remember these are not real, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. Simple. Let's move on. Cinderella's physical abuse. Ah, just like I said with Tiger, there she is. And also, I believe that one's the wolf and something else. I never actually finished that anime. Not many people realize how being verbally and physically abusive should not be in the beginning of any healthy relationship. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we see many people, especially boys. I'm sorry, but how many girls are there in harem anime that beat up a guy when he's done nothing wrong? Tons. Or a dense guy who doesn't realise what he said. Tons. He gets beaten to hell. Why are you saying especially boys? I mean, unless you've watched Diabolic Lovers and that was your judgment, I get it, because Diabolic Lovers was a horrible anime. Fight me! Preferring tsundere anime characters by a huge margin. Yeah, they are very popular. What can I say? They've been like a cliche for years now. This stems from two misogynistic schools of thought. Where did this come from? Oh, I can tell the opinion on the writer right now. One says women can't really hurt men because their punches are too weak. I'm sorry, do you see the men near enough beaten to death completely? I'm sorry, but that just makes that an absolute load of bull. Get bent. One that propagates the real men don't feel pain myth. No, they all get beaten to all hell. There's only the very rare examples where they don't feel pain. Most of the time, the guys get beaten bloody and usually have their limbs broken. Bloody hell, have you seen Bludgeoning Angel Dokuro-chan, where all the guys get freaking killed, sometimes for no reason? Did you forget that casually? Come on. He gets literally killed and brought back to life. Okay, here's a good view. How could I? Fan service equals sexual objectification of women. They're not real, so they don't count as women. It's not real. Get over it. Nowhere is this more apparent in the genres like ecchi, harem, and shonen. Then don't watch them. Shonen is not so usually seen, but I get where you're coming from if you've only watched Fairy Tail, where women serve as nothing more than pieces of meat for the male protagonist and male viewers to consume and as and when they please. Hold on, let me finish this one before I blow off. They don't have personalities, and all their traits can be boiled down to only their personal appearances, which is usually their breast sizes. Okay, several things. First off, ecchi. If you're watching a really bad anime that has only fan service, I get what you're saying. Second off, harems. Sometimes they have really good characters. High School DD was alright. High School of the Dead was amazing. It was an ecchi, and it was action-packed and gory, and it was beautiful. I wish there was more. What other examples can I think of? Trinity 7. Yeah, the guy was a dickhead in that one, but he was a funny dickhead. The Fruit of Grisaya. Another easy example. It's a harem anime. And all of the girls have freaking amazing characters. So how dare you say that's the same for all of them, saying, oh, they're just meat pieces. That's an insult to the writing and the characters who are created. The maker that spent the time to draw, design, and also make the background of those characters to make them very cool characters in general. How dare you say that? Just saying they're meat pieces. Are you sure you're not the one objectifying them right now? I understand if you're on about like angles now, but to say the whole character, Jesus Christ. Alright, consent has no meaning. It's paper. It's paper. It's not real. Oh goodness me, this person's making a mountain out of a molehill. How often have we seen girls become embarrassed or uncomfortable due to physical actions, always sexual, of male characters? And how many have we seen from female characters on male or female characters? Or yaoi relationships with guys jumping on other guys, and some of them usually being molested? It's very prominent in yaoi, as well as yuri. I'm not saying that they are the sole perpetrators, but it's not just the girls and the guys doing it to the girls. Sometimes it's completely by accident, and sometimes it's not. And if it's not, yeah, I get what you're saying, but usually they're predictable, and I get annoyed with it. I get it. It's annoying to see it over and over again. But you can't just ignore the yaoi and then just say, yeah, it's just guys doing it to girls. No, there's guys who do it to guys, and there's girls who do it to girls. Goodness me, have you never seen Strawberry Panic? Have you never seen Sekaiichi... Oh god, The World's Greatest, I think it's called. It's another yaoi series, but there was another one, Junjo Romantica. Jesus Christ, You can't just say it's just one-on-one when it actually happens all around the house. Good God. More than one count, especially seeing the boys continue with their behaviour despite the obvious distress they're causing to the girls. Yes, some of them are pricks for doing that, and then they get beaten half to death for it as punishment. Another excellent example is how often boys kiss girls without their consent, and also how is it's also the same when girls do it to guys. Don't make it one-sided. The girls blush, they either run away, get angry, or become shy, but not a single one of them reprimands that boy for touching her without her consent. Maybe because she fancies the tits off of him. Did you not consider that maybe they fancied them and they had fantasized about it and it caught them off guard? I'm not saying that I'm speaking for them, of course. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is it's not real again. Oh, no repercussions of criminal behavior. Oh boy. Have you never seen the police appear in anime? Nah, you must be very new around here. So, this one's self-explanatory. Please elaborate. It doesn't matter what the male protagonist's crime is, or the female's one, like the buff maid, which was the one in This Maid is Too Annoying. She was preying on a young girl, the whole entire anime. Granted, the anime was funny, but it was creepy. I'm not even going to lie, it was creepy. And I just noticed my internet went out, so that's great. So, it's not just men. Why are you going for just men on this one? Sexual abuse, sexual harassment, or abuse, or even that word which I can't say out loud. Okay, so let me give you an example where it was completely ignored, where an older lady took advantage of a young boy, and then a prison ward actually done this bad word down here to another inmate in a prison. It's called Rainbow, the Prisoners of Cellblock 26, one of my most favourite anime of all time. Absolutely amazing, so underrated, and I actually recommend it. Not for that theme down there, but for the story in general and the characters, they are all amazing. But you cannot just say that it's all men characters. There's female characters that also do this stuff as well, and they don't get reprimanded. And when the guys do something back, they then get punished saying, what? Am I not attractive or something to you? Am I not what you want? Are you dissatisfied with me? Come on. Okay. Japan's idea of punishment is to forgive and forget. No, the Japanese are quite, they remember a lot. You may not notice, but some Japanese people have two faces, as they say. Like, one that's like the really polite person, the one you always know, and then there's the real feelings like, oh, just get away from me. Then they will rarely show that face. Which is exactly what all the women in anime do. No, they don't. Some of them beat the living hell out of them. Actually, a lot of them beat the living hell out of the character. Sometimes everybody laughs off sexual harassment as a joke. No. Joke is joke. Actual sexual harassment is messed up. Actual sexual harassment is messed up. We don't equate a drawing to reality. And I doubt there will be a person in the world that would actually advocate for actual sexual harassment, like touching a girl inappropriately, or a boy inappropriately, or any of that sort. God damn it. It's like these people think we're like kids who don't know the difference between reality, when these people are the ones that are deluded. As if being harassed by something as normal as eating one's breakfast. Oh, get Ben. How dare you say that? How dare you say that? Alright. Let's move on, we're nearly at the end. Poor representation. Good God, what does this mean? Anime is full of straight males. Oh, the opinion piece. Here we go. Who are always fair-skinned. No, they're Japanese. They are Japanese because if you look at the ethnicity statistics, 98% of Japan is native Japanese. So, of course, they're going to mainly have Japanese anime characters. So, shut up. We hardly get to see any dark-skinned men, or straight, or gay. Okay, yaoi, you can go right off on that one. And the only time we get to see gay couples are when the anime is either from yaoi or yuri genres. That is because they're specifically for those viewers. They are specifically for those viewers, and girls read more yaoi than guys. And some of them are freaking terrifying. Like, oh my god, some of them actually have men getting raw dogged over without their consent a majority of the time. I think there was one where it's like the bitch boo or something like that, I think it's called. Like the Yaniman Bitch Club or something like that. I think it's like a main serialization that my friend told me about, and it literally has girls are loving it, and there's guys getting molested all over in that lot without their consent. There's me thinking, oh, so that's okay then. But if a guy does to a girl, and they're watching a guy do it to a guy, then that's totally different. No, it's the exact same. God damn it. If you don't like it, just don't read it. And how do they use Dragon Ball Z from the 1980s? At that point, they didn't have much ethnicity difference in their country at all. Not to mention how for every 10 men on screen, we only get to see one woman. Okay, look at recent animes, especially the ones with harems or cute kawaii anime girls. There are more female characters than guy characters, so you can shut the hell up on that one. Unless you're watching like something from 1980s like freaking Dragon Ball Z, or maybe even watching Fairy Tail, or mainstream stuff like My Hero Academia. This person sounds like a My Hero Academia fan, calling it now. Okay, not despite women being nearly half of the world population. Oh, you got to pull that card. Okay. As I said earlier, seiyus in Japan, most of them are women. The representatives, most of it are women. And also, publishers in Japan that mostly get accepted, it's usually half between men and women. So, don't you dare go on saying it's just that this is like men creating this. Nah, women are also representing it and are advocating for it and say that you Westerners, we laugh at you because you look so dumb. Saying this and comparing a real human to a drawing. And I agree. Alright, moving on. And here's the last one. Oh, wait, did I read this? Unless it's a harem of ecchi, there's conveniently an overabundance of women and just one insipid boy. Yeah, most of the time we hate the main character because sometimes he's absolutely clueless and we get it. Right, upon whom all the girls fall like 9 pins. Or it's a good story and they have all good reasons for it. Sounds like somebody here really seems to hate men. Right, male fans have a lot more than at their disposal. Okay, I can easily give you the answer for why. More men watch anime than girls. Done. That is literally all she wrote. That is why it's more male based, is because if you have a primary fan base, who are you going to make it for? You're going to make it for the primary fan base because then people will be watching, people will be buying. It's the most logical business decision. So, done. Despite women forming almost half of anime's fan base, almost half. So yeah, of course they're going to make more for guys. And also, are you on about in the West or the East? That is an important part. Because it sounds like you're only looking at Western viewers more than Eastern viewers. So if you include Japan's population and which ones watch more anime and then compare it to the Western ones, you're going to find out there's more guys in Japan that watch it than women in the West. So shut up. So despite women's forming almost half of anime's fan base, yeah, they have already very few choices given to them. Rom-coms, shoujo, what's the other one again? Josei. Yeah, there's quite a few shoujos and also quite a few great animes like Shugo Chara. And there's also shonen, which are also still pretty good and girls can also watch them as well. Rom-coms even. Seinen, sometimes girls even like them. So what the hell are you trying to prove with this? What the hell are you trying to prove at this point? Apart from shoujo and niche genres like yaoi or reverse harem, yeah, reverse harem exists, but you're not complaining about that, are you? Where the girl's ditzy and then the guys are fawning all over her. You're not going to fight about like how they are going to go on at her, are you? All genres are predominantly aimed at male fans. I already said why, don't need to repeat myself. This is proven time and again by how few female characters are shown on screen. This guy must watch, this guy or girl, whoever you are, you must really watch a lot of mainstream stuff because you don't know anything out of your norm, do you? You really don't know. And how most of the time these women exist to serve as either love interests or dead mothers to the male characters. Oh yeah, like there's no dead fathers or fathers who want to kill their children in anime. Yeah, the bad guys are usually framed as guys, so if you're going to go on this, I'm going to ask sometimes then, why are most of the bad guys mostly men? Why aren't they always women? But you would say, oh no, but then you don't want to hit women or do anything against women, right? Alright, let's move on with that. And how most of the time these women exist, okay, as the male characters. Yeah, you must be watching ecchi and making your own biased view on it. Yeah, you have your own viewpoint, that's fine. Almost as if that's how the dichotomy of women exists in the minds of males. So you're basically objectifying men now to think that we think that women are just sex objects. You are charming. You are absolutely charming to think that we see women like that. That's disgusting. Sex object or not a sex object. Yikes. Person who wrote this, please, I know it's locked down, but at least open your window and get some fresh air. You've been definitely stressing away like a keyboard warrior, all the wrong things. And I understand like some of the concerns. Like I'll give you this. The one point that I did agree on was with the normalization of abusive relationships. I kind of get where you're going with that. I get that. And also the point where you're saying about the sexualization of younger characters, which I get, but then you have to remember they are not real, and if you are going on an anime that has those themes, you've already said, like, I know what themes are in this, I know what age I had to be to watch this, and I'm going to watch it. But guess what? It's just paper. You are getting butthurt by paper. It's not real. But anyway, I'm going to stop this right now because I don't really have to say anything else. There was also a lot of one-sided opinions in this. So, I don't know what I'll call this, Yuusha Bulletin. It's been a while as well. So, maybe I'll say, there are problems with anime, but these are not them, maybe. Or something along those lines. But when you're trying to prove a point, don't make it so opinionated. That's what makes people not want to look at your stuff. And I've been seeing the stuff coming out from CBR a lot recently. And I have just seen it. And I was just like, this is going to be too easy to make a video on, I swear. Like, it's too easy to rip on this. But do you know what? I decided to do it on this one because I saw some of the points they were coming with. They just went about it in the entirely wrong way. And it's a shame. It's a shame. If they didn't make it so one-sided and then saying, oh, yeah, men see these things as objects, like they see all women as objects, you lost me. Because how dare you? How dare you say that? That is incredibly sexist of you. Whether you're a guy or a girl, that is sexist. And you had some very sexist views. So talk about speaking for representation and also... what do we call it? Sexual objectification and that lot and all that lot. You are going on to then say that all men are basically pigs and only think about sex. So who's the one objectifying men right now? It's you, writer. It's you. But I am all out of time now, and thank you all for sticking with me on this article. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next bulletin. Sonaja, guys. I will most certainly see you next time. Damn, my throat kind of hurts. Damn, this article sucked.